Welcome to Research Matters with Unda and Kuda, an online show that is all about communicating the research taking place at NUS in efforts to promote the university's research agenda and the impact thereof.
It's another episode of Research Matters. It is exactly 11:15 right here on NUS FM, where we are reinventing sound. Now we are back. It's Unda and Kuda right here on Research and Innovation Matters. Another great episode, another great opportunity to be back in studio talking to my lovely co-host who will introduce our guests for this morning.
Great, thank you so much, Unda. First, for a change,
Yeah.
you've been away for like 2 weeks. Where have you been? I know I've just been seeing a whole lot of blue on social media.
A lot
on
of
your
blue.
WhatsApp status, yes. Where were you?
So, Kuda, I was actually working at the Ongwediva Trade Fair. NUST had a stall, so we had two stalls actually. A very technology-centered one on the inside, where we did some virtual reality experiences and so forth. And we had a NUST FM type of setup outside, where we're just doing activations, engaging with people, having fun, and just, entertaining while also informing people. So that was basically my life for like 2 weeks.
Oh, wow. Flying that NUST flag high. That's
Actually thought you would
awesome.
be in Luderitz for some weird reason. I thought
I'm
that was
going to Luderitz
I
actually
see.
because we're soon, as you know, launching the Luderitz, officially launching the NUST Luderitz campus. So exciting times.
Exciting times.
Yeah.
All right.
Now, today in studio, we have with us Prof. Sulaiman Atiku. He's a director of research in the Harold Pupkowitz Graduate School of Business right here at the Namibia University of Science and Technology. Now, Prof, welcome. Since we are actually just talking about Team Blue and all of that, just from your own words, your own perspective, what makes you proud to be part of the NUST brand?
Good morning, colleagues and the listener out there. I must say, to start with, you guys are doing a fantastic job.
Thank you.
No, not a compliment, it's just a fact.
But I will take it as a compliment still.
But because I'm not a politician, I speak fact as a researcher. So
Thank you.
I'm not here to flatter you guys. It's just the truth. You're doing so well. I think coming back to your question, for me, blue is my favorite color. You can see.
We see you wearing.
Yeah. So that's resonates so much with me. Blue is my favorite color. Maybe that's one of the reasons why I thrive so much here at NUST. I believe when I joined NUST in 2019, it was my first time in the University of Science and Technology. I think I love what I love about it is the creativity, innovations that has come with it. I like to think outside the box. If it's possible for me to do away with the box and just live like
limitless
a free in the Middle East, and that's where the creativity comes from. So you don't get high level of creativity with rigidity and bureaucratic process principles, and that's for me. That's what really I love so much about NUST as one of the best university of science and technology in the country, and also what NUST stands for. What do we stand for? We stand for quality.
Absolutely.
In terms of students, staff members, all our staff members being administrative, you guys are doing fantastically. You guys are brilliant. I've never met any staff member here that are below the standard. The recruitment process is fantastic. NUST always pick the best. And I love that so much. I cherish that about NUST.
A true brand ambassador.
I'm telling you, to know that we only have the best in this room, and we're only going to give you the best in this session as well. Now, Prof, maybe we can talk about your childhood. Take a trip down memory lane and just tell us what or who are those people you looked up to growing up, and what were you like as a child? Were you this passionate about everything you got into?
Were you a naughty child?
Yes. Tell us all those little teas.
Okay. For me, when I was young, my childhood was very, very interesting because if you look at my physique, I look much fragile when I was young. Second to the last, my mom maybe something demon sucking out my blood somehow because
This child is so small.
well, why am I? He's so small. Why?
Yeah.
So all the blood multivitamins in the world, she gave me all the multivitamins in the world. I don't like eating, but I don't have weight, so I don't like eating and all that. You say, oh, what can I do to make this boy gain weight?
Yeah.
So because I don't like food, when they offend me at home, I'm very quiet. I was very quiet and reserved. So I go on hunger strike 3 days just to punish them, to get back at them.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
Sure.
wow. But I've never understood the concept of hunger strike,
Yeah.
right? I'm like,
You
want me to
can't
suffer, but it's you that's...
It's you that's actually suffering.
wow.
Shame. All right, but who did you look up to? Who inspired you the most growing up?
Growing up, for me, I really grew up in a rural area, rural community. My both parents didn't have Western education, so I can't call them illiterate. But because they have, they had informal education. Like my dad was a farmer and a fisherman.
Yeah.
She learned how to farm and all that. So my dad really, in spite of that, he was very very knowledgeable in terms of native intelligence, and he was the traditional ruler in my community. So sometimes people come to our house to report one another. So Dad will say, okay, it's fine. I will hear the other side.
Conflict management.
So listening now, I was surprised that the first person that came to report was the guilty one.
Obviously.
So I will listen in the corridor to listen to the conversation. So what I cherish so much, looking up to my dad, he was a very intelligent man. So he had a small head like me, but you
filled with knowledge.
Yeah.
But so small head, but filled with so much knowledge, wisdom, intelligence, and I also cherish contentment from him, because if you are really looking for money, wealth, you cannot do well in the teaching profession. So your passion, you have passion for teaching and learning. Money is not even a fool can stumble on wealth. So I gained that so much from my dad. Contentment, fulfillment, and all that, and that is my philosophy.
Yeah, those are great qualities to carry within yourself. Just knowing that everything is enough, and finding things that really bring you joy and fulfillment, and not being driven just for funds and money and. Yeah,
because
so
it can actually get addictive. Hey, this rat race is the
drive.
next destination addiction. It doesn't end. You're
Absolutely.
like the next, and you fail to be content in that moment.
Absolutely.
No, it's great. Now, Prof, normally when we speak of research, especially at a University of Science and Technology, one just tends to naturally think of the hard sciences. But we also know there's another world. What does research in human resources management entail? What are we talking about when we say HR research, for instance?
HR research is very interesting because many people don't even understand that HR is multidisciplinary. And I would like to contextualize that for our listeners to know that HR is very multidisciplinary. For example, you have sociology aspect of it. It's called industrial sociology of work, nurse community. So, and we have staff member, how do we relate in this industrial society? It's part of HR, social sociology. Psychology is by employee attitude and work. Industrial psychology is also HR. So, economics is part of HR, labor economics. Accounting is part of HR, human resource accounting, labor costing. Now, engineering is part of HR. You have division of labor economics, industrial engineering is formed part of HR. So law is part of HR, labor law. Labor law.
Vast.
Labor law. So many people must they've not contextualized HR in that manner. And that's why you will see when they want to employ anybody. So you see HR person is present in that interview, whether they want to employ. So if you look at education, is part of HR, training and development. You train people, you give training, it's part of education. So human sciences is part of HR. You're talking about our sense organs, your faculty, your reasoning faculty, and you use it for training and development. When we are teaching, you see audiovisual, you can see with your eyes, or you can listen with your hair. That's human organs, body systems, and all that are our sense organs. So we put it into HR and we put that into consideration. So many HR is actually it's interdisciplinary, multidisciplinary, and many people don't look at it from that perspective. Yes. And I'll also tell you that HR is unique in the sense that 2 + 2 will always give you 4. Right.
Yeah.
But the way you manage an engineer is different from the way you manage a Namibian because of issues of individual demographic differences.
One size doesn't fit all.
In human resource management. So and it requires so much creativity, and managing people can be very difficult.
Yeah.
So you smile today, tomorrow you can be moody. Maybe somebody offended you.
You can be on hunger strike for 3 days.
Exactly.
Because they said narcissistic to me.
Yeah.
Because they know they can't really beat up this fragile child.
Yes.
So they will say narcissistic. So after saying narcissistic to retaliate, I'll just go on hunger strike, and they start begging now.
Yeah.
Sorry. Because now they are begging you to eat so that I don't die. So, and this guy wants to go on that strike to die.
Yes. And I suppose they can also be incorporated in a different kind of way, even in the workplace. You know, someone that's now just dropped everything. Now you must find another approach, not a punitive one necessarily, but a correctional one. Okay, how can we do this better? How you have to change your tone when you're communicating so that we go back to that place or that level of productivity.
So that's why HR, for me, it's very interesting for me. It's for me. I started with my journey in HR research. Started from basic research. But now we do applied research. And if you look at in the industry, this is what we do. Instead of managing people, solving people-related problems, what we do, we are managing HR files, keeping records, your leave days, your days. So it's too administrative.
Yeah.
Let's go beyond that.
So Kuda is unhappy. How can we make her happy? Oh, she's complaining about long work hours. How can we reduce the long hours so that she will be able to attend to things that matter in her life after hours? She has a beautiful baby girl and she needs maternity quality time with the daughter. Okay, let's create on-site child support because majority of our staff members, for example, about 80% of them have kids between the age of 1 to 5 years. They should be in preschool. So we can establish that so it's work-life balance. Or, for example, so many people in categories of some staff members don't have dependents today, but they have 2 cats, 1 cat and a dog, and those are the grandkids. Because if you look at some people choose that I don't want to have kids, and the medical aid will only cover people like me who have 2 daughters, for example. But this person only have 1 dog and a cat. And those are the dependent, but the medical aid doesn't cover the veterinary services and all that. So how do we, and this person is a high talent and is looking forward to that, and we don't want to lose this person. Okay, can the medical aid cover the cat? Can we have a medical cover that will cover that cat and a dog? And this person is happy and the productivity just goes off. So HR for me, research is not about just HR today is not just about managing files.
Yeah.
It's about solving people-related business problems. People are unhappy. The job satisfaction is very low. The majority of our employees are dissatisfied, and if you don't do something about it, it will have negative impact on the performance, productivity, and on all that.
Yes.
Yeah.
So for me, there's another aspect of in HR that I forgot to mention is leadership, child leadership. So leadership is not about influence. Who are you influencing?
Yeah.
Like an
People.
influencer. Yeah.
People, so it's just very interesting for me. It's applied research. Each type of research you do, you are gaining better insight in terms of flexible work arrangement. Now we are dealing with hybrid mode of work. Some people are physically present, some people are working remotely. How do we coordinate these activities so that these two categories of staff members will still interact with one another to come up with creative and innovative ideas? So in terms of innovative performance, so flexibility is key thing. Mental health in the world of work, sometimes if you look at mental health issues today, some of these are usually triggered by work related stress. So as line managers, are you really mean towards your subordinates?
Yes.
Sure.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
so it's very it's so I can go on and on and on when you're talking about HR because I'm passionate about it. It's reality for me. It's not just abstract.
Yeah.
It's not an abstract, it's practice. You do recruitment, you interview people. So for the fact that some of our students read it in books and all, that doesn't mean that it's an abstract, it's practical.
Yeah. You know what I like is how the wellness aspect ties in, and NUST has this wellness session coming up on Friday actually, where staff can, step out of that workspace where you're constantly, just looking to perform and produce, and this way you can network, you can come up with great ideas, and also just relax, a breather from that grind all the time. So I think that's a great initiative from the HR department at NUST. But let's quickly take a look at the Harold Pupkowitz Graduate School of Business and how, they offer a number of business-related postgraduate, programs, such as the MBAs, for example. Prof, how would you say these are relevant programs, and especially if you look at people who are in the corporate space?
Yeah, thank you so much for that questions, because I will tell you that our business school, our Pupkowitz Graduate School of Business, is the best business school in Namibia in terms of quality. And you can check that from the quality, from the fees. And I'm telling you that I'm not just making it up because I work for NUST and that department. You can find out, go to IUM, go to NBS and all that.
Yeah.
So our MBA program, in terms of program, quality of the program, the quality of staff members, professors teaching on that program, and our course outlined materials, course materials, you can't find it anywhere in Namibia.
Yeah.
And sometimes we complement with people from South Africa. We get experts, best of the best professors from South Africa, who also are part of the adjunct professors in our business school. So for example, apart from the MBA that you mentioned, we have this program, Masters of Leadership and Change Management, MLCM. I think the school fees, the last time I checked, was about 165,000.
Sure. But it's very popular.
So that program is the best leadership program you can find in this country. And that program prepares you for the position of a CEO. You can tell, Masters in Leadership and Change Management. The word is not static. So I'm saying that because I do facilitate 3 or 4 modules on that program. I teach leadership on that program. I teach organizational development and change management on that program. I teach strategic HRM on that program. Now I'm teaching research methodology on that program. So if I'm telling you, if I have funding today to do another master's, is the program that I don't mind enrolling in, because richness, the teaching methods, and if you know our Pupkowitz very well, our mandate is management education. And that's why we do problem-based research, applied research, and some majority of our students are usually the managers in the industry, because one of the admission requirement is that you need at least 2 or 3 years managerial experience.
Yeah.
So it's not a program that you just finish your honors with that work experience. You come to enroll on that program.
Yeah.
So you can tell we that's the target. So we for the MLC and Master in Leadership and Change Management, it prepares you for your next level, like your CEO and all that. So for me, I'll recommend that program.
Yeah.
I'm teaching on that program, and we have so many professors. And I can tell you, if you look at in Namibia, we have NAST as the best professor in business management. You can't find it elsewhere. So I'm a professor of human resource management, and the only one you can find in this country. And where do you find it?
Yeah.
NAST.
Right here.
So I'm not just cooking it up.
You've just sold the brand. We love it.
So in terms of that, if you look at that, that is our mandate. Our mandate is executive education, and we have short courses. You remember last year we merged with CED, Center of Enterprise Development.
Yeah.
So we have 2 wings now. The business school has 2 wings. 1 week for academic program, the other week for executive education, consultancy, and those short courses you see.
Yeah.
So I think we are the best in terms of what we do, and the evidence are just there.
All right, we'll take a musical break at this juncture, but Prof, maybe you can tell me why this was your song selection, and this is Bob Marley with Don't Worry. Where does it take you, and how does it make you feel when you listen to this jam?
It was just Bob Marley in general.
Yeah.
How does, because you highlighted
No,
that
if you
that's
listen to the lyrics, you know that this is I love it's philosopher. He was a philosopher for me. So don't worry, be happy.
Yeah.
So if you look at Don't Worry songs, what it means is that there are challenges everywhere. So challenges is actually not really bad.
Yeah.
We need it. It's good. So for example, you face so many challenges, studying, writing your exams, and all that.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, you have a very good qualification, and in the graduation ceremony, you're smiling and all that.
You're happy.
So
you're not worried.
No, not at all.
So you happy. For me, it gives you hope.
Yeah.
For me, it keeps you going because it gives you you have negative emotions and positive emotions. You begin to see challenges in life as good thing to make you a better person.
Yeah.
So that's for me. I love that kind of song.
Yeah. All right. I'll have the listener listen to it, and hopefully it gets them in that space as well. But we'll be back on the flip side.
If you've just joined us, you are listening to Unda and Kuda right here on NAST FM, live at the Namibia University of Science and Technology. In studio with us today, we have Prof. Atiku. He's the Director of Research at the Harold Pupkowitz Graduate School of Business. Now, just before the break, he was really going all out in selling the institution and particularly the school. I think everybody wants to enroll at Harold Pupkowitz now. So well done, and kudos to you for that one, Prof. Now, I think we need a drum roll moment. You need to help me, Unda? Okay. So you're a few days away from your official inauguration ceremony. That means that is the ceremony where you officially be recognized as a full professor.
Oh, wow.
How do you feel? What does this mean for you? What is a half professor? What is a full professor? Can you
You're only full when it's recognized at an inaugural.
Is there a quarter? Tell us about that.
Yeah, thank you so much for that question. For me, I didn't dream of becoming a professor because of the title. Because when I started my career, I always started from the bottom, from the entry level. Yeah. I started as a graduate assistant in January 2008 at Lagos State University.
Yeah.
So that's what you call tutor here, with your bachelor's degree, graduate assistants. So I rose through the cadre. So it took me, I got my promotion to the full professorship in 2021. I'm just doing my inaugural lecture this year. For me, it's a recognition of your scholarly work. So I love to research. I love conducting research. I because it's a problem-based research. If you check some of my paper, when I say leadership issues, I'm writing about leadership to correct the problem. So there was a time where something was just flying, memo here and there, newspaper articles, complaining, staff complaining, and all that. Then I wrote things on inclusive leadership. So if you look at my research, if I see a problem, I want to research into this problem to provide solution.
Yeah.
So I'm also very gentle about it. When you read the article, there's a practical implications. It's left for you, practitioner in the industry, to pick that section and implement. So for me, I know where my power lies.
Yeah.
My power is in the pen. The pen is mightier than the sword. But I choose to use my pen positively. I don't write anything negative. I would never write anything negative. It's usually positive.
You want to speak life.
Positive. So for me, that's what I do, and it's kind of very exciting journey. But please permit me. I don't know how much time we have. Please permit me to say this. My dad wanted me at a point in grade 4. Wanted me to, out of Western education, to stay with one of my uncles and go to Arabic school to become Islamic scholar. By now, I think I'll have many wives. Islam allows you to practice polygamy.
But you're smiling, Prof. Is that it?
That sounds like a complaint.
So I'll just have many wives, and I'll be Islamic scholar reading Arabic, very scholar. So that was, for me, I didn't blame him because I grew up in a riverine area, and we don't have that grade 4. When I was promoted from grade 3 to grade 4, that class we do not have teacher. So and in fact you don't have to be at home doing nothing. For instead of you go to Snake Island is a community, is an island where I'll go to Islamic school, study Islamic and become great Islamic scholar. In those days, the husband is the head of the family and all that. He told my mom, and mom chose not to argue. And that's a lesson for Western modern ladies. She chose not to argue with my dad. And what happened was she told my elder sister in the city. She was SSS detective. So, and she was a single lady then, staying by herself, and they negotiated. It's okay, when we go on a break, last time holiday, I'll go to visit my sister in the city to spend the holiday. After the holiday, I'll come back instead of resuming in grade 4, I'll go to Snake Island for a scholarly work. That was what he told my dad. So when I went there, you're not going back. I'll put you in school here. Oh, wow. Then, and when my dad phoned, the holiday
it's over. What's happening?
Come back. Say, no, he's not coming back. I want him to study. Then in the evening, after school, from 4 to 6, he will go to learn Arabic. Arabic school to learn Arabic, so it's better. So
that was a compromise.
That was a compromise.
So instead of my dad put my sister, Mrs. Oluti, now put me in Arabic school. When I close from school, from 8 to 2 o'clock, I will rest. 4 to 6, I will go to lesson. Extra classes, not Arabic school. So the lesson, so the lesson,
strategic approach to things.
The good thing is that they choose not to argue with my dad. And today, looking at it, I think I hold it to my mom and my sister, Mrs. Oluti, because without them, I won't be a professor, because I will be an Islamic scholar.
Oh wow! I'm sure they look back and they say, we made the right decision. So that is absolutely awesome. Now I know I joked around a little bit about it, but maybe if you can just school us a little bit. Really, when we say a full professor, what does that mean? What is the difference from what is a non-full professor, for instance, in very basic terms?
So if we have associate professor,
okay,
and a full professor. So in Nigeria and United Kingdom, once you are an associate professor, they still refer to you as doctor. So a full professor is the peak. You're in the peak of your career. You've published more. Is the highest cadre in academia.
Okay.
So associate professor is you're associating with a professor. Now, yeah. You are associating with a professor. You're not yet a professor. Associate.
Well said and very simple.
So you're associating with a professor. So when you associate with a professor for a while, you then get promotion to become a full professor.
Yeah.
So basically, a full professor is you're the chair, you're the peak of your career, and there's no any other promotion apart from that. So in academia, you call it you're the CEO in that field of your study. You're the expert in any field that you're a full professor, you're the most senior person in that area, and you're an authority in that area. And it means that you've published extensively in that area to have that cap.
Yeah.
And usually when you become a full professor, and you know that this inaugural lecture thing, professional inaugural lecture, has been in existence for over 800 years.
My goodness.
Academic culture.
Yeah.
So when you become a full professor, you do your inaugural lecture to actually give highlights of your research, how it evolves
over time,
and to level your current learner, and you also give be futuristic in terms of the next level and what people need to do. So if you look at my title, I think the title of my inaugural address is Human-Centric Production System. It's around human-centric production system. So for me, it's telling us in Africa to say that, and that's what we need. We don't need the fourth industrial revolution. Human-centric production system. So if you look at fourth industrial revolution, it's tech-centric.
Yeah.
You talk about artificial intelligence, machine learning, big data.
Yeah.
Those are not human-centric.
Yeah.
Tech-centric. Now, Internet of Things, name them. But if you look at fifth industrial revolution, it's human-centric. Now, the artificial intelligence is here to stay, for example. How do we blend it?
Bring the two together.
That's why I'm saying integrating. One of my book chapters that I published last 2 months, we are looking at integrating both digital and human labor for sustainable production.
Yeah.
So if you look at that, now let's say you have autonomous truck, for example. You can still use it, but if you use autonomous truck to replace the what is going to happen to drivers? They are going to lose their job.
Yeah.
What will happen to the children? They will be stay out of school, and it will contribute to the high rates of unemployment in the country and crime rates.
Yeah.
So now we are saying that now let's use autonomous trucks after hours. So let's say from 6, those trucks shuttling between Namibia and South Africa, you can use autonomous truck overnight because it's autonomous truck.
Yes.
So why our drivers will spend quality time
With their families.
with the family and play a little game with the wife at night to grow the population. Their population is just 3 million people.
That was so sleek.
So you can play soccer. The drivers can play soccer with their wife over the night. So we 9 months after we have
A soccer team.
So it's actually good. We grow the economy and they increase the population.
All right, now, Prof, looking at, how extensively you spoke about what it takes to become a professor. Now that you've attained that goal, you've achieved that goal, what else would you need to tick off to say, okay, now I've really done everything that I've set out for myself. This was the goal. I've become a professor. Is there anything bigger than that you still want to achieve? And if so, what is it?
For me, I don't think I've really started.
Oh, this is just the beginning.
This is just
Because
the beginning.
it's just the beginning. Because for me, I'm a professional student. That's my interpretation of being a professor. I still want to learn from you. It could be your language, which I'm an illiterate in that sense. So you see why I'm a professional student. I see myself as a professional student in that sense because I'm willing to learn more. So I want to become a world-class professor in my field.
Yeah.
I'm not a local champion. So I want to become a world-class professor in my field. That's why I've said I've not started. Yeah. So if I have about 100 publications or over 100 publications on my profile, I look up to professors with 600 publications. So I still have a long way to go.
Yeah.
Yes.
But it's just that we may not be able to find them in Africa or in Namibia. But these are the people that I look up to. That's what it takes to become a world-class professor in my field. Also, if you look at HR theories in Africa, people are reading about Abraham Maslow, hierarchy of needs, motivational theories. I also want to develop a theory before I die.
Yes. You know, if I can just quickly interject there, especially when we're always referencing when we're speaking of Maslow's hierarchy of needs, I'm always saying, where are the African voices?
Scholars.
I'd love to be able to cite, have a
Kuda
whole
brand.
reference. K-brand.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that is what African scholars need to do.
Yeah.
There's a gap there. Instead of talking about the problem, don't worry. So now instead of talking about the problem, what can I do to fill that gap? So if you look at it from that sense, I still have a long way to go, and my dream was to become a full professor. When I started as a tutor, my dream was to become a full professor before 45.
Where are we now?
I achieved that.
Okay, but are we 45 or are we 44?
Before 45.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
I'm not.
I was trying.
So I remember I got my promotion letter in 2021.
Yeah.
So I'm still below 45.
Oh wow.
For my inaugural address. So for me, I've just started.
Yeah. No, there's a long way to go.
Yeah.
There's a long way to go.
Oh, this is inspiring for
It
days.
really is. But unfortunately, that does bring us to the end of yet another exciting research episode right here with Unda and Kuda. And for details on the next episode of Research Matters, you can follow the Research, Innovation and Partnerships at NAST pages. That is on Facebook as well as LinkedIn. But you can also follow the NAST FM Facebook and Instagram pages. And our episodes are available on the NAST YouTube channel, so you can catch up on all the previous episodes that you might have missed. But Prof. Atiku, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much for inspiring us and just allowing us to indulge and learn from you. I'm leaving you with the sounds of Bob Marley again, and this one is titled Sun is Shining. Don't go anywhere because NAST FM is reinventing sound.